Hello and welcome. Today we want to talk about naysayers. And we're going to give them a little bit of airtime because many of you, if you're approaching a return to work or even just a pivot, you'll have those people, those live voices, not just the ones in your head saying, well, why are you doing that, Kelly? You're never going to say, how could you ever think you could go back to work?
Right.
So we want to talk about how to deal with those doubters today.
Yeah. This is a part of the reason why we want to do this is because it was really coming up with our students as we start to explore and assess, and they'll meet with someone and that person then all of a sudden is saying to them, well, you know what, you really need this and you should have done this and you should have gone here. And what we know as return to work experts, your track and your trajectory is very different. And sometimes the most well-meaning, well-intentioned bits of advice are not advice as a returner you should be taking. So I think it's really important first to just like delineate that. What is this information that this person giving me? Is it valuable, or is it making me say all of a sudden, wait a second, I'm not
and also
using yourself.
One of the things you teach in our course is the idea of the disruptor.
Yes.
Think about who is saying this to you.
Right.
I trust Kelly. If Kelly Biskupiak gives me some advice, even if it's something I don't want to hear, I'm going to listen.
Yeah.
But if a random guy on the street comes up to me and says, oh, you'll never return to work, even after 15 years, I'm not going to listen to that. So the first thing is really consider who is giving you this advice.
Right. And that can be a little tricky. So like the example I gave in the beginning, it's someone who is already working in the job, has already done the job, but their path is different than your path. So you can take what they said, you know what, there may be some education involved in my reentry. That might be something, the 2% truth of what they're telling you,
like you said,
right? So it's taking the 2% truth. There may be some education involved in my reentry. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to vet whether or not that is true. Do you really need X certifications? Do you really need to have started in this position and then gone in that direction next?
Do you really need to take a step back? Usually no. Right.
Yep. So it's really looking at when you get that download of information from someone, do I have to take all of it? Does it just have to be a hard no now because this one person that I spoke to said to me, you know what, this is going to be a lot of work and a lot of time, and you are out of your mind if you think that's, something that you're going to be done with in the next 3 or 5 years. So slow yourself down and don't just take everything in, because they may have the best of intentions, but everything that's coming into you, really listen for that 2% truth, because when you get that negative feedback, no matter who it is a disruptor. It's disrupting your process. If they said to you, Susan, of course you can do it. You can do anything that you want to do. You have to be weary of those people as well, because sometimes that can be a little bit of that toxic positivity where go after every dream. You have, all these bills to pay, but go and open up a yoga studio.
All affirmed.
That you have to be aware of too. That can also be a disruptor that are giving you too much of that. Yes, you can do it, and could lead you down a path. So they can also be a naysayer, just, far more
in a dismissive way, almost.
Yes. In a far more, I don't know, sunshine and rainbow.
That sounded really good when you were doing it.
Yeah. So
now I know if you say that to me, not to believe it.
Yes.
Let's talk about how to handle the negative one though, because I think one of the things that we teach in our programs is kind of how to handle an objection. I think they can use kind of the same strategy. So if Kelly says to me, we'll do it. Like, I'm going back to work. I'm really excited. Shoot me down. I'm going back to work. I'm really excited. I'm just thrilled that I've got, after these 10 years at home with the kids, I'm going to be back in the workplace.
Do you know what you're going to do?
Well, I'm thinking, I've got some ideas. Yeah.
So like what?
Well,
because you really, you haven't been doing much in those years. So you want to make sure you have some direction.
Yeah. So the first thing I'm going to do is just empathize with her. I could see why you'd be concerned, because I have been out for 10 years and it's been a long time and things have changed. So that's the first thing. But the second thing I'm going to do is now educate her. But I've been doing my homework and I've been meeting with some people, and it turns out that almost half of American women, 43%, take long career breaks, and 90% of them go back to work. So I'm really energized by that positivity. Like I'm in really good company. But to your point, it will be difficult. So I'm working with a coach, or I'm working with a mentor, or I'm working whatever you're doing, and doing my homework. And I'm really excited. And actually, and this is how you close it up, I would love to enlist your help. I think you're smart. I know you're really well connected. And when I'm at the point when I've really narrowed down exactly what I want to do, I would love to have lunch with you and talk to you about maybe making some network connections with you.
Well, I'd love to do that. I love you. And of course I would want to help you.
Great.
People always want to be tapped as a resource that is always going to work in your favor, especially in a closing up conversation that could have gone.
But you can see what I did was I took control of it.
Yeah.
Now, human nature would be for her to say that and me to go, oh my God, and go home to my husband and cry and say, oh my God, I'm never going to do this.
I don't want to hang out with Kelly anymore.
Right.
She's so negative.
Or I believe everything Kelly said, and what am I doing trying to relaunch my career after 10 years? So if you like what you heard today, this brief little role play, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We have so much more content. We have new content coming out every week on Mondays. So please subscribe to our channel. And check us out on other social media. Visit our website, www.preparetolaunchu.com, and we will see you next week.